Welcome to the THEADUSHOW. If you are watching or streaming this episode, thank you so much for tuning in. I have a great show for you guys today. You know, I was thinking about all of the creatives, all the amazing artists, and just all around creatives. I feel like we're all artists in our own way, you feel me? And I just really appreciate every single creative that is doing what they do best. And speaking of creatives, on December 13th, Stephen Boss, as we know as Twitch, had passed away, and unfortunately a suicide attempt, which broke my heart because I see this guy do what he does best on screen. I know him from the Ellen Show and So You Think You Can Dance, and he was just an amazing creative, always brought laughter and light and joy, and you saw that on screen, and you saw that when he did what he did best, man. And my condolences go out to everybody who worked with him, but especially to his kids and his wife. I have a deep burden, you feel me? Because right now it's crazy because I was just talking about how amazing being a creative is and expressing yourself. And I wish Twitch expressed himself when it came to whatever he had went through. And I know, unfortunately, he's just gone. And the thing about it is, I don't know what he went through, and I just really have been inspired by him in so many areas. I know a lot of my friends actually look up to him. Two friends of mine who I know personally keep up with Twitch, and they had kept up with Twitch. They've worked with Twitch. They've been in the studio one-on-one with Twitch, and just vibing, you feel me? And they were having an incredible time, and it was just them, and they were just dope creatives, you feel me? My friends and them working with Twitch, and it was like, they're there, whether it was in LA or somewhere else, they were working with him. And I know it was such a joy and such an honor to be with him. It's amazing what one person can do in a room. The light that they carry, yeah, the light that they carry is can be so impactful. And I know the light that Twitch had carried was out of this world, man. And there will never be another Stephen Twitch Boss. And I really, really feel for everybody who has just known him and worked with him and followed him up until now. I think when it comes to this, and I remember Andy, the executive producer of the Ellen Show, had said this in a post which I resonated with so much wholeheartedly. It says this: so many people on social media are posting pictures of themselves with Twitch, talking about their close friendships with him, talking about the texts they exchanged with him just last week, talking about the conversation they once had with him. The thing is, it's all true. It's all real. Those who knew him are not trying to make this tragedy about themselves. They are just trying to convey to you who Twitch was. He made everything about you. He made you feel like the most important person in the world. And he did this for everybody. Not just the people he needed or that were quote unquote important. He did it for everybody. It doesn't sound real, but it is. All of it. He was everyone's friend. He really did care for every single person who worked at the show and everyone in his life. And the thing is, if you met him just once, you felt that feeling, that light. That's why I think you and I are hurting, because we all counted on him. He was our flame, our joy, our dancer. There was a heavy burden that none of us realized he was carrying. He must have been so tired. But we didn't know because he never wanted it to be about him, ever. So now we can either spend all of our time wondering why and how and never being satisfied with the answers we imagine, or we can focus on being grateful for the gift he gave us by allowing us to take light from his flame. The thing is, that light still burns in us, all of us. Let's try and share that light with the people we love. It's really all we can do, and that's enough. It's more than enough. Just that, I love Twitch as a person, as a creative. Keep smiling, keep going. There's more. You can get through this. Keep holding on. Don't give up. And if you try to give up, let me be that person to remind you, before you give up, don't give up. I think that's a good place to stop. Stick around. There's more of the Adu Show after this. Welcome back to the Adu Show. My guest for today is an amazing creative, a songwriter, artist, producer, audio engineer, musician. Help me welcome Leonardo, ZURITA.
Hey.
Hey man, you know, so crazy. I had to pause because I was like, hold on. I literally just said his name flawlessly right before I started taping, and for some reason it just went out because Leonardo has just been on my mind this whole time. I'm like, yo, he got this new record out. It's Leonardo everywhere. Like literally, I love it, man. I love everything that you're doing, man. Thank you so much for stopping by and letting me waste your time for a couple minutes. So how you doing? What's up, man? What's good?
I'm good. Like I actually, I just got back from Baltimore, and I like I'm from California, so I've been staying here the last couple of days.
Yeah, I was gonna
It's been
ask
great.
you about that, man. I was like, Cali, yes, sir. I love them. I love people in Cali. I got a lot of friends down there.
Yeah. But yeah, I just put out this EP, and I just been kind of trying to like send it to a bunch of labels. Hopefully, one of them will like it.
Yeah,
Like put it on some like playlist, and maybe some people will listen to it.
yeah, yeah. No, no, I know where you. I get what you're saying, bro. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. Like literally. Yeah, bro. It just you're amazing, bro. Like for real though. You're like I I was when I was listening to your record, and we'll get into that a lot more. I was
Mm.
like really fascinated that it wasn't it wasn't. It's funny because when I hear you play just and when it's just you. When I heard the
Mm.
record, I was like, "Yo, there's so many." I forget as a musician and a creative, because I naturally think, "Oh, we're just all creatives in general." No
Mm.
matter what instrument we're playing, that we can tackle on anything and add any sounds, any effects, put our hands and feet to anything, and make some magic and make some beautiful cakes with our favorite sprinkles and our favorite little flavors and put some toppings and touchings on it and
Yeah.
all that. But hey, man, here's the thing that really gets me, man. I, I I love this thing, man. I love this thing that you did, and you posted it last year around this time actually, and
Uh-huh.
you recorded like your way, or like I would say your version of playing "Do You" by Knowledge, and
Oh
I
yeah.
like that so much. I was literally just playing it all throughout the day because I was like, I knew you were gonna be on the show later on today because I've been doing a couple tapings today, and I was like, but every single time we did a show or the a show was over, I would play your record, and
Oh damn.
I would play specifically "I Don't Know." I wasn't even playing "I Didn't Know." I played "I Don't Know," even though that was like just for a minute, and I was like,
Mm.
oh man, that's cool. But then I heard this, and I was like, okay, cool. Like this is dope. And I know you posted it on Instagram, but yeah, you recorded that. You recorded that, and I like that so much. But was it just like a thing where you didn't plan it, or was it just like, yo, I gotta do this, that, and then I'll just release whatever? Because I feel like you can do that with any song. I feel like you as a creative man, because I've watched you, I feel like you could do that. Like I feel like give him anything, and he'll make something amazing out of it that you wouldn't like think of like as the first thought. You feel me?
Uh-huh. Yeah. I mean, I think like my process has kind of been like, I mean, because I started off like playing jazz piano, um, and I think like the way that the that people are kind of that people go through like learning jazz piano is to learn a bunch of songs, like just like old songs, and then like learn how to play over them in their own way, or learn how to play over them in a way of like that somebody that's really old would play over them. Um, and I kind of just took that same approach in when I'm like making beats. Like for like a couple of years, I would just only try to like make like beats that were like just the same as a knowledge beat or like a Dilla beat, just so I could kind of figure out what he was doing. And then like after I did that for a while, I would start to try to make my own music. But I really like for a while, like I would just like the same with jazz, like I would just like learn songs, like basically just so I could really figure out how to use Ableton, like how to like mix things and master things. Like it's kind of just like the I get it all from the way I learned jazz.
Check out this from Leonardo. We all take stuff in a different matter, and the way we come up and the way we grow up and the way we experience stuff and the way we see stuff is so differently, and that's what makes everything just so amazing and unique, and like what is this, like makes you want to go after it, be like, what in the world is this? And let me tell you something, man. You inspire me so much, especially in this.
Thank you.
And I read that you decided to become an artist after quitting piano lessons, which led
Yeah.
you to playing jazz on your own,
Yeah.
as your own creative. And I love that, man. The crazy part about it is I wouldn't say like uh criticized in a sense, but whenever I wanted to branch off in something new and not do the traditional stuff and do the stuff that a normal kid or a normal kid or normal kid or an ordinary kid would do, it was like, what in the world are you doing? What is he doing? And I believe what it is like everybody has this gift, and I feel like there comes a point where that gift will start to burn up inside, and it'll keep burning and burning until you get noticed. Like, hey, bro, you got something, and it's sticking with you, and it could be it could be at whatever age. It don't even have to be, you feel me, at the typical like, oh, I'm a grown up or I'm at a certain level or at a certain age. Where no, it could be at like 6 years old, but you could still be at a beginner's level. I know a producer who was doing beats at like 7, and I'm friends with this guy, and
Wow.
he's like, he didn't consider himself the best, but he found his sauce to the music that now a lot of people know and love. And I love that, man. I really do love that because I feel like as a creative, when you are creative, you create. And you don't have, it's not some you and somebody else create, you create and you go into yourself and you find that that flame that just burns, and it's just like, wow, like what else can I do with this? How far can I take this, and what can I do to expose myself, or what is there for me to be exposed to that will put me in a level of like, bro, you can't touch me. Or it's not that you can't touch me, but like it's the fact of like, I was exposed to something, and it just did something to me, where to the point where my creativeness is actually being inspired, is being like inspired more. And I feel like seeing you and seeing what you do has been really amazing and really inspiring, man. I love that, man. What's been the best part throughout all of this, bro?
Well, I mean, definitely, like, I think moving to Baltimore was like a huge thing for me. Because I just a lot of my like growing up in the Bay, like I was, yeah, I don't know, I kind of felt that I didn't know that many people that were like really trying to do the same thing as me. Like a lot of people were more just in the like taking the path of like just like jazz, like playing jazz as their main thing. And like, and I know that there are a ton of people that are like producers and like rappers, like especially like in the Bay, like in Oakland and San Francisco. But just like I didn't really like know them, like because I was just hanging out with people that play jazz. And then like when I moved to Baltimore, luckily like a lot of the people that play jazz are also like super into hip hop and like soul, and like I've grown up listening to like not just jazz but also like Bill Withers and like Stevie Wonder, like things like that that like have had a huge influence on me. And like it's just really easy to connect with people like that. That I mean, anybody that like had like a Bill Withers CD in the car when they were a kid, like I will immediately like fall in love with that person. Like, and then like I just feel like I didn't really know that many people until I moved to Baltimore that like were like that.
Did you want to do this artist thing? Like what like put that fire in you to do this?
My dad is like a flamenco guitarist, so like just when I was younger, I would always hear him play like all the time, just like practicing this flamenco. And I always thought it was just great going to like see somebody like that, like just go to his gigs and like sit in on his gigs and just being like this is something, if this is something I could just do all the time, like I want to just do whatever I can to make sure that I do more of this.
Yeah, yeah. Do you feel like you've gone more into yourself to find that like creativeness? Because I know you did it at a young age, but is it now like more easier or more harder?
um I mean, I definitely I feel like at a point that I'm a lot more able to express myself just because I kind of like have figured out a lot more about like how to actually like play piano and like how to make just like play whatever I'm thinking. and then make it into a beat or make it into a what like arrange it for people to play. But I think like having that kind of like technical like learning has made it a lot easier to be creative. Like just getting done through all the like boring, like just like meticulous practice, like that. I mean, and I still have a lot to learn in that like technique aspect of playing and like producing. But at least I'm finally at a point where I could just kind of like I could if I could think of something, I could like make it in my computer or like I could write it down in notes.
Yeah, man. Speaking of creativity and the creativeness, what's uh, what's the thing that excites you the most when it comes to creating?
That I was thinking about that earlier actually. Like I think like so it sometimes I'll just be like lying in bed or like in the shower and I'll just be like so excited to like just play with my friends like and especially like to play for like a lot of people with like it with my friends like I've always just the thought of that just makes me so happy like especially like now that I'm like doing that more often and like I can just like remember times that I've done it and then just picture doing that but for like a lot of money like or like a lot of people which is like the
Yeah,
same thing
yeah,
like
yeah, 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 yeah. No, I get it from that standpoint. I really don't want to say what I really want to say because I can't say it because it's about the project that I'm working on because I love it and you're right there, but I can't talk about it on camera. But man,
oh,
it's like I feel like I'm right there, especially like this the last record that I did. I wanted to do more, and I wanted to do so many concerts and performances and stuff of that nature. Uh, for some reason, I felt like I needed to create more and do more. Like I always got. It's not that I couldn't, but I felt like I was redirected back into my studio and back into, hey, start from scratch. You have a lot more songs than you just released. So the what you said about like performing for a lot of people, uh, it's basically yeah. You just name my career, honestly, bro. I
yeah
love it,
bro.
man, and I am so grateful that you're here for real, and because I feel like as as a creative, I get to like witness somebody else's like process at times when they let me in. If you let the little guy in, and like see what they're doing, and also seeing you and seeing what you're doing, man. I know this new release was like amazing, man, and I know people have been listening to it. I know it just came out 2 days ago, prior to us recording it on this date. Recording this episode on this date. However, yeah, man, I love everything that you're doing. I can't wait until to see everything that what you're about to do in the next couple of years and the next weeks. I don't even know. I don't know what you're about to do. Like literally, I could be done with this, and I promise you, I'm gonna end up in a conversation, and I'm not corny or cliche when I say this. I promise you, Leonardo, I'm not corny and cliche when I say this. When I say
Okay.
I'm gonna end up in a conversation with somebody when they're gonna mention your name, and I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I did have him on my show a couple years ago, and it's gonna be so low key, and no one's really gonna care. I'm gonna
Oh
be like,
yeah.
but everybody's gonna care about you because everybody like I admire you and respect you and as a creative, as a musician, you're amazing, man. Uh, uh, let's talk about this new release, man. Let's talk about your new record that's available now, titled "I Didn't Know," and you recorded this with Zach Lloyd, who's coming on the show tomorrow.
Oh, awesome! I
Yeah.
didn't know you got Zach, but that's cool.
Yeah, actually, we let me tell you actually what we really wanted to do. We wanted to put y'all on the same show and not tell you guys. But then we thought, nah, first impressions, we don't really know these guys. So let's
That
not
would be awesome. That would have been
I was
awesome.
like, I don't know if I don't know, like, was this a setup, bro? And who is this a person? Is this a hoax, bro? But like, yeah, maybe one of these days, maybe I don't know. This could be, but
Yeah.
but yeah, you're gonna. What is this? We're taping for 68. So you're on 68. He's on 69. Yeah. So y'all, yeah, it's cool, and we're gonna talk about the same thing. But I think he's doing a lot to it. You know him better than me.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's amazing. What you do is amazing. What he does is amazing. We love Zach Lloyd over here. What inspired this record?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the sample like is or like so it's got two samples. Like one of them is actually one that Common sampled, or like I guess like Dilla was a producer, but on Faithful. And so I've always like loved Common and like Jay Dilla's producing. So I wanted to do something that kind of like in like not really the style of him, but just like super like you could was something where you could see the lineage of like soul music. Then Dilla samples it, and then I sample something similar, but then I make it like some like weird like Leo type shit.
Yeah. Hey, bro, it's so funny as creatives are so funny, and musicians are so funny and songwriters too when they come up with this little thing, and it's like, what did I just do, and why did I just do it? And it's an amazing thing. But I love it, man. I know a lot of people are excited for this to come out. I know you're just an amazing person. Thank you for stopping by the show. You're amazing. Thank you for your time, and hopefully, actually, I never say this on camera, but hopefully I run into you because I actually really am inspired by you and everything that you do. Honestly, as a dope creative, like you're amazing, man. But thank you so much for stopping by the show. I didn't know is available now. For more information on everything Leonardo, head over to Leonardo Zurita music.com. Leonardo Zurita, everybody. Stick around. There's more of the Adu Show after this. Well, that's all the time that I have for today. If you would like to view clips from today's show, head on over to my YouTube channel for more exclusive content. Also, if you want to stream full episodes of this show, you can, since the show is on all streaming platforms, which are available for download on the Google Play Store and the App Store. And finally, make sure to tune in to the Adu Show every day, only on YouTube.com and on all other streaming platforms available. I want to say thanks to Leonardo Zurita. Everything's going to be all right. You're an amazing human being. You're here for purpose. Keep pressing on. Live life.